Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. Let's get ready for school. Happy Tuesday everyone. I know that sounds really weird and feels really weird to say, considering the fact that we did not have a Monday. And I think I told you guys last week that it was going to be a 3-day weekend, and it was very nice. I hope you guys had a fantastic Monday, whatever that looked like for you. But for me, it was very chill and probably much needed for the other people. It was much needed for me. I was like not sleeping, but it was much needed to relax. I didn't really sleep that well this weekend for like various reasons. I had like appointments and stuff that I had to like wake up early for because they're farther than where I live. And I went to the football game, so like I only got like 7 hours of sleep, but stacked up against the other like hours of sleep I got, it wasn't like the sleep was kind of getting to me. So anyway, it was nice to be able to sleep in, and technically I didn't really sleep in that much. Like, you know, some people are like, oh, I slept in, they sleep until like 10 or whatever, like, or they sleep until like 11 o'clock. Yeah, I slept in like 9:30. So I didn't really entirely sleep in like too much. Like, I didn't like lose my entire day. I was still up like in the morning. And so, yeah, so it was just a quiet weekend. It felt really nice to have it. I like when we have quiet weekends because that means I feel like I'm more refreshed and recharged and ready for like the next week. Which I do. I actually got like 8 hours of sleep last night, which felt really good because I don't typically get 8 hours. A good like sleep for me is like 7 hours. So I know that's not good, but like I need to work on it. But whatever. So yeah. I don't know what we're doing this week. I just know I have a sub in one class today. And that's it. That's all I know. I have a feeling that this week is gonna feel long again, like I tell you guys before. I think it's because, like, when you have a 3-day weekend, I think, or a 4-day weekend, like, it messes with, like, your time. So, like, the weeks feel longer or something. Because, like, the day that's supposed to feel like the next day feels like a Monday. Like, today feels like a Monday, but it's Tuesday. And so I think that's what makes the week feel longer, is like you're one day behind because it feels like you're one day behind. Like on Monday, you know, it still feels like you're part of the weekend. Then Tuesday comes around and you have to go to school or work or whatever, and it feels like it's Monday. And then you go like Wednesday, and Wednesday feels like Tuesday, and then you're just like all out of whack. To me, that's how it happens. Also, like, over like long breaks, I feel like that happens too, where like you just lose track of what day it is. Like during winter break, it happens a lot too. And Thanksgiving, not so much because it's only a week, but winter break, since it's 2 weeks, you're kind of like, where the heck am I? Like, what day is it? Especially like some days just like blend together, which is really interesting. So yeah. Okay. This is the second time. This is like the other version of La Camisa Negra. And I heard the other one when I was doing my skincare, so that's why this is funny. Okay, you guys. Anyway, so happy 11 days till nonstop flight. We hit the 2-week mark. Now we're past 2 weeks, or yeah. I think that's right. I'm so excited, you guys. We don't have 2 weeks anymore. We have less than 2 weeks left to wait. I don't know what to do with that information. We have less than 2 weeks until the album, you guys. Like, we have less than 2 weeks till nonstop flight, and I'm so excited. Like, I'm actually really glad that it's on a Saturday, which sounds weird. I mean, not really. I don't know if I remember telling you guys why I'm happy it's on a Saturday. But, like, I was hoping it would be on, like, a day I had, like, flex or something. But keep in mind, this was before I realized that our school implemented like a strict like no phones like policy in our school. And so now I'm glad it's on a Saturday because I don't want to have to wait like an entire school day and hear people talking about the album and stuff like online and have to wait to hear it on my own like in between classes or like before or after school. Like I don't want to have to do that, and so I'm glad that I don't have to do that because it comes out on a Saturday. So I kind of already have plans of how I'm going to listen to it. So my plan is that I'm going to get a pumpkin spice latte that day. Preferably a hot one. I'm hoping it's like cooler. Oh, considering the fact that it has cooled down this week. Maybe it'll be cooler by then. I have no idea. So hopefully a hot pumpkin spice latte. Come back home. And like build my Legos. This is like the ideal thing. I don't know if we're gonna end up having plans that day. But build my Lego set that I have, the Wally one that I think I was telling you guys about like a little bit ago. So I'm gonna build that as I drink my pumpkin spice latte and listen to the album. So I might also not build the Legos. I might just like spend time on the album, and then after my first listen, I might do that. I don't know what kind of album listener I'm gonna be, because I'm not typically an album listener. So I'll have to figure that out. So yeah, I'm so excited that we are only we're still double digits, but at least we're less than 2 weeks away. And that makes me very happy, because I remember when it was like a longer time. I feel bad for the people who have actually been waiting a very long time. I recently became a Drake Bell fan, so I have not been waiting as long as I know like diehard fans have been. They've been waiting like for years. And so I do not envy those people that have been waiting like actual like years for this album. But I am happy to join them in celebrating the album once it finally is released. So yeah, I'm very excited. So yeah, I'm so happy to be able to join them in celebrating this album's release when it finally does get released. Okay, so we need to speed this up a little bit because we're kind of running a little bit behind time, but it's okay. So, I was gonna say, I'm gonna have to stand corrected once again for that talk I was having with you guys last week. I don't know if I told you guys I was having trouble remembering which podcast it was from, but I clearly was, and I didn't, and I was telling you it was a different podcast every single day. But the talk I was having with you guys last week with the Josh Peck and Drake Bell, not really drama, but just like Drake Bell saying that like Josh knew his story and everything. Okay, so the first original podcast it came from was the Not Skinny But Not Fat. I kept going back and forth saying it wasn't Not Skinny But Not Fat, and it was, and it is. It was Not Skinny But Not Fat. It was at like the 48 mark or something, because I was like looking at something online and it had like a timestamp of when that moment was, and so then that's how I knew it was actually that one. So finally we solved the problem. So if you guys want to go see it, it's in that podcast. It was bad because I couldn't remember. I was like, what podcast was it from? Because like I thought it was Not Skinny But Not Fat, but like I couldn't remember. And I was like, they all seemed similar. Like they all kind of blend in with each other. Not gonna lie. Plus, it isn't a good podcast. It's not a good interview. I was watching it again to try and like find the scene, and just even watching the little bit that I did, I was like, this is not good. Like, she has that very disinterested voice. Like, you do not even care what you're, like, talking about or interviewing about. And it's like, if you have one of those voices, like, you need to be, like, voice trained. Like, I don't really know what that means. But, like, you need to be, like, voice trained in the sense where it's, like, you need to, like, be able to control your voice to not sound like you're disinterested all the time. So anyway, that was the podcast for real, and it does kind of say something like along the lines of like Josh always knew what was going on, and that's why people are having the issues with it, is like not because Drake said that, but because it paints Josh as this real big jerk, and I don't think he understands that that's what that does. I don't know, maybe it does, maybe he does, I don't know. But it's like, if people look back on all the things that Josh did to Drake and all the things that he said, it doesn't look right. Like, it already doesn't look right. It already doesn't look right with the context of, like, thinking that they were once friends. It's like, well, once friends don't do this kind of stuff to each other, you know what I mean? Like, thinking that they were once friends, like, it doesn't make sense, or it kind of already paints him as a jerk there. But then you add on that, like, maybe Josh knew kind of what had happened or what was going on in, like, Drake's life. And then it just kind of sits worse in your stomach. So, I don't know. Like, it's just, ugh, I don't like it. It just doesn't sit right with me. And I think that's what a lot of people are trying to go back and forth with. Especially, like, having, like, the way it's said, it's like, if that's not really what is meant, then it's like, does that make it any better? No, but it doesn't make it any worse. But the other thing is, like, if that really is what is meant, it just makes, like, it's so much harder to give Josh the benefit of the doubt, because, like, what do you do with that? Like, what do you do with that? What do you do with that information? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. And just, like, if he really knew and still acted the way he did, I don't think there's really any coming back from that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I could be wrong. But, like, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of, like, coming back from that if you knew something and then still acted the way you did. But, like, Drake Bell seems to be very forgiving. And so I don't think, like, he harbors any ill will towards Josh or anyone, really. So, I mean, that kind of stuff is freeing, though. Like, not harboring, like, ill will towards people. Like, because forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. So, it must be freeing to not hold grudges and stuff. Like, if someone hurts you. Because, again, like, the forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. It's for you to not be carrying that weight of, like, holding a grudge against someone, I guess. I don't really know. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just, like, I want to believe, every part of me wants to believe that Josh Peck is not a jerk. Because I feel like if you think that everyone is an accomplice or everyone's in a jerk, if you think that everyone's an accomplice and everyone's in a... Why do I keep saying that? You think everyone's an accomplice or you think everyone's a jerk, you're never going to find peace in the world. Like, ever. Because I remember there was a huge, like, not controversy, but, like, thing going around with Quiet on Set. With it started with the actual documentary when, I think his name was Virgil. He was, like, he worked on, like, The Amanda Show. He worked on Drake and Josh. He was actually the director for a lot of episodes of Drake and Josh. Had this, like, look of disbelief on his face, but it was, like, a really big look of disbelief. When they were like, it was a child actor. They're like, it was an actor. And then they're like something like let's all like disbelieve like on one of our shows, and he's like, and the director or whoever of the person behind is like, oh, like it was like, there you go, it was a child actor, and he goes like on one of our shows and has this like look of like disbelief, but people were saying like it was like too played up or something. So and everyone believes like it was like really played up and everything, and it was, but I don't know if it was like played up to make Virgil look like innocent. I think it was just played up because it's still a documentary, it's still a form of making money, and I think that they were trying to play up the reveal of Drake Bell as the child actor that had been, you know, I'm not gonna actually say the thing, I'll just say, you know what, that had been abused, we'll just say that. Because, like, they made it the most dramatic thing, like, the documentary did it in a very dramatic manner that they didn't have to do to still get the point across, but that's how they made bank, probably. Like, they did that whole thing with Virgil, because that comes directly right, like, before they have, like, Drake Bell walk out. And they have him, like, hecka walk out. Like, it's, like, a full, like, walkout thing where they have him, like, in a corner, and they have him, like, walk around to, like, sit in the chair, and the camera pulls out. It's, like, this whole dramatic, like, thing, and then he's, like, my name's Drake Bell, and I'm here to tell my story, or whatever, like that. Like, it's a whole show. Like, and so, I feel like that's just, like, really dramatic, but a lot of people were, like, I don't know, we could talk about the intricacies of that another day, but a lot of people were, like, I feel like Virgil, like, should have known something, or, like, did know something, or whatever, because, like, of, like, but I think our, not our excuse, but, like, I think our, I guess excuse, or our explanation, or the way that we, like, justify saying that we think that everyone was an accomplice, or whatever, is we think just because someone's an adult, they can't get blindsided. We think that just because someone's an adult, they have to know that everything is going on. And it's like, that's definitely not the case. And that's why I think, like, we shouldn't be so quick to be like, oh, they were an accomplice, or oh, they were in on it, or oh, they should have known, or oh, they're lying that they didn't know, or something like that. So, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to talk about this tomorrow, because now I got myself on a little tangent, and I want to talk about this. But, like, I'm sure, like, there are some cases in which that is the case, where someone is lying about, you know, knowing what they know, and, you know, but that's not every case, and you can't treat, like, every case like that. Okay, we're gonna talk more about this tomorrow, but first setting spray. Second setting spray. Okay, I'm gonna do my lashes and my lips off camera, and I'll be back. Okay, we have officially emptied another product. This is the Rare Beauty Tinted Lip Oil. As you can see, it doesn't look like I'm wearing anything, because I literally just tried to scrape this thing, and, like, I'm not getting, like, hardly any product off of it, which means that we are basically empty. So, it's very sad, but she will be missed. We'll definitely eventually be repurchasing her, like, as soon as possible. I might try to scrape a little bit off of her tomorrow, so, yeah. Anyway, this is the final look. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a great day. Have a blessed day. Jesus loves you. I love you, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.